Okay, so if you need to jump off, you can always watch the stream on YouTube. And we're just waiting for some people to join us. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Fantastic. That is ready to go. Let's go ahead and record it. All right. Hey, it's Dr. Ariel Policano. I'm so excited to be with you. This is a Genius Biofeedback Quanta Capsule workshop, and we're going to have some fun today, talk all about the Quanta Capsule. What I'd like to know from you is all the issues you're having with your Quanta Capsule, any help that you need. We can even send some frequencies today. We're just going to just jump right in there, talk all about what it is, what it can do, answer all of your questions. Joanne is here. Warm welcome. Anyone who wants to ask questions, you're more than welcome to ask any questions that you have. Happy to answer them. And I guess we'll start off with a couple of questions for you. And that is, have you ever utilized a Quanta Capsule? So who here has played frequencies with a Quanta Capsule? Have you ever used it for yourself? Let me know in the chat if you've used the Quanta Capsule yourself, or have you used it for a client? Let me know in the chat. Let me know if you've used it, but you've had some trouble using it. Let me know if you've used it and it's been really successful for you. Would love to hear what you have to say, and you can exchange ideas in the chat. And we're going to talk all about it. My main goal is to familiarize yourself, to make it super easy for you to utilize your Quanta Capsule and also to use your Quanta Capsule dashboard. All right, so we're going to hear all about your woes and your triumphs and everything like that. So I'm really glad that you took some time to spend with us today so that we could get into this and share this information with you. Okay, so there's a handout link. If you just go a little bit back into the chat, you can find it. And then we can actually, before we get started, let's just link it one more time. It's not that link though, it has to be this one. So yeah, warm welcome to you. Thank you for being here. I'm excited to share this information from you, talk to you about it. All right. So let's talk about our Quanta Capsule. Oh heavens. In just a moment. Just want to see if I can get this corrected. And it's almost like make your own screen with a Zoom. All right. Anyway, so the Quanta Capsule, we're going to get all into your questions. Let's just talk about what it originally started as, okay? So you're Genius, for those of you who are Genius Biofeedback practitioners, and it's really cool to be able to send people frequencies. With your Genius, you can send frequencies remotely. You can play them for the person in real time. You can send them remotely, remote broadcast. The person can watch the frequencies. They can listen to the frequencies through headphones. There's lots of ways for them to interact. Okay, and then what you can do is the frequencies that you find on your Genius, the coolest thing ever is you can send them through a code, and the code is imported by the client, and then they can get those frequencies and play those frequencies on their Quanta Capsule. So that is an amazing, amazing advancement. It's sort of similar to the nutritionist that would, or let's just take an herbalist that would work with the client and then determine what the client needs in terms of an herbal prescription or a nutritional prescription, and then puts the herb into the tincture bottle or puts the capsules into the bottle. And in the similar way, we want the person to take the herb 3 times a day, or take the nutrition, the vitamin C 2 times a day. And so we're moving into an age of frequency and light. And now we want the person to run the frequencies twice a day. Now, it is really amazing that the developer was on the cutting edge and thought that this type of something that the client would be able to use would be valuable. And so over the years, he's changed and continued to develop the Quanta Capsule and update it in a number of different ways, including the full integration of voice and picture. So the person can take their picture, record their voice from the Quanta Capsule, and then you can pick it up on your Genius. So let's get a couple of volunteers in the mix. If you want to volunteer, put your date of birth, and we'll go ahead and we'll take some volunteers, and we're going to start with recording your voice and picture, and then I'll pick it up inside my Genius and show how the session is done. We'll then export some frequencies, and I'll export it both to the individual who volunteered, and I'll export it to my own Quanta capsule, which let's just see what's in my profile here. So I can check my profile, and I know which email that I'm sending it to now. Okay, let's just go ahead and start with some of your questions. Make sure you volunteer. Volunteers are absolutely welcome. And okay, so Andy says, yes, she's used it for others. And Alicia says, I've used it only for myself. Joanne says she's never used a Quanta capsule. Andy says, I'm having trouble accessing my members. So we'll talk about that. Lorraine says, I've used it and it's great. I'm here to explain it better to my client. Okay. So the thing about your Quanta capsule is it just plays for the person who's holding the device. So if the whole family wanted to, not holding the device, I'll talk about that. So who's ever close to the device or whoever hears the frequencies sort of within earshot. So it's not a remote broadcast, but anyone can get the benefit of the frequencies that are on the Quanta capsule. It is not limited to that person. Even though the frequencies were selected for that person, anybody can benefit from those frequencies who is listening or close to the device. Okay, so Diane says, can I even receive the frequencies if I don't own the Genius yet? I'm planning on getting a Genius, so I'm immersing myself in all the amazing info. Diane, you're welcome. We have lots of free classes, the weekly training. You're absolutely welcome here, and you're completely can do that. The one thing that you would need to do is you'd have to get a Quanta capsule if you wanted to receive these frequencies on your tablet. You can always receive them remotely. Carol says, yes, I've used it on my old phone and I got a new phone and I need to transfer it. Sue says, I haven't used them at all yet. Okay, Heike says, if I understand correctly, the Quanta capsule waveform is a sine wave. That is correct. It only does the sine wave. I'm working with a client in the Netherlands who suffers from symptoms of Lyme and parasites. The waveform that would be very effective for that is sawtooth, correct? So it actually would be a square wave. So that's what they use in Rife frequency, is a square wave. But you will still get great benefit by sending those frequencies to the capsule. So we've only used the definition of the different waveforms as a guide. This person will still get the frequency that you have sent to them. It will be a sine wave, but I can tell you from experience, it will still be very effective. We get people who are massively effective using the Quanta capsule. And in one of my videos, I interviewed Annette Landman, and you can find her video on the YouTube channel. And she works with people with Quanta capsule only remotely. Well, not only, but primarily, and gets great results, especially on the 7th week of the sending of the capsule. So the 7th week, she sees a profound change in people almost every time, and has found the Quanta capsule to be immensely powerful. Okay, Marion says, I use it daily for both myself and my spouse. The only issue I'm having is that on my Android, one set of frequencies has to be manually removed. Otherwise, if I forget, 2 sets of frequencies can run at once. Okay, that's actually a really good thing just to send to the developer. So if you haven't already, you can send it to me and I'll forward it to the developer, and I'll be happy to do that. Stephen says, does the practitioner get an email for confirmation also when the frequencies are sent? So let me explain that. I've talked to the developer. I'd like you, the practitioner, to get a confirmation when you actually activate the capsule. So we are working on that. You should get an email confirmation when you send a frequency. So you should be able to see that you have sent the frequencies to that person, and you should get a CC of that code in your email every time. So if you're not getting it, definitely tell us and let me know. I'd love to volunteer. So Dahlia, we just need your date of birth. We've got a bunch of volunteers. Thank you so much. Judan says, I have one client that has never received a capsule after numerous attempts on my part. So Judan, the most likely explanation is that that capsule is active. And if you would try to just export the frequencies, I think you'll find that it's already activated. They cannot find the email. And that is just an ongoing battle for us with the emails. What you can do is you can, and I will show you, you can find the links in the App Store, or you can find them on our website, and you could actually copy and paste the link and then store it somewhere in a document, in something called Evernote, or in any of the notes apps that you have on your desktop, your laptop. And then you can copy and paste those. You can even put it into like an email, a draft email that you can copy and paste to your client. And so if they say that, you've activated it, but they haven't seen an email, then you send them the links and you say, I know that your Quanta Capsule is active. I've seen a credit, be spent in my Quanta membership dashboard. And they're most likely almost 10 times out of 10, that capsule is already active for them. And you're already able to send them the frequencies. So I would give it a try. It's the best check for you, is just try to export some frequencies, maybe just 1 or 2 frequencies to them, give it a try and see if it actually works. Even before you gather everything that you want to send them in a session, just send them a test export of 1 frequency, even without doing a session. Just go into your Genius and then pull 1 frequency down into the main hold tray and tell them it's a test export. You just want to make sure that it's activated. Okay, Carol already has to run. Okay, Carol, take care. Thanks for joining us. Susanna says, can someone please share the link? Okay, so maybe everyone can just continue to share the link. Diane, thank you so much for doing that. Dahlia says, I haven't done it yet, but I'm very interested for long distance sessions with my clients. It's amazing for long distance sessions with clients. It's incredibly beneficial and helpful. All right, fantastic. Okay, so let's see who we've got here. First person to volunteer here was Diane. So Diane, we're going to work with you. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this from here, because we have to do it as if we are the client. I'm going to bring you on. So do me a favor, Diane, just go ahead and check your microphone and camera, because we're going to do this a little bit spontaneously. So we're going to bring you up here as a panelist. Check your voice and picture. Make sure you can join us up here with the microphone camera. So, because we're going to take your picture and your voice this way. Okay, fabulous. All right. So Diane, how are you today?
Can you hear me?
Right. Yes, hang on one second. Yes, Diane, how are you?
I am wonderful, but you know what? I am waiting to get my Genius.
Well, that's okay. No, you're fine. I know that you are. You're absolutely fine. You can participate, and we love to have people come and hang out with us and participate. So you're going to actually be in my capsule, so it's going to be a little bit confusing, but I just wanted to show people how this is done.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to imagine this was your capsule, and what the capsule is, we've been talking about it. And I'm going to go to the navigation bar of the capsule right here. And that will take me to the gallery, which is sort of like a dashboard within the client's Quanta capsule. And now imagine you have this app, and you can download it for 14 days for free, just like the Genius. And we're going to upload the voice and picture. So the first thing that the client is going to need is the practitioner's email. So I'm just going to use this one that we have, which is, it's not cooperating, frequencies@geniusbiofeedback.com. Hopefully that spelled it right. All right, perfect. So now we're going to record your voice. So you've done this before. You've done a little test run of the Genius, and you've recorded your voice in the past, right?
Yes.
Okay, fabulous. Okay, great. So I'll count you down. It's the same thing. You're just going to say, my name is, say your name, and then the A-E-I-O-U. And I'll count you down so you know when to start. And I'll start recording in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
Diane Devatori, A-E-I-O-U, 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 A-E-I-O-U.
Fabulous. Okay. Very good. So now we're going to upload the voice. That was successful. And now we go here to the picture. So I'm going to, in just a moment, record your picture. Where are you joining us from today?
From Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh, wow. How's the weather today?
It's amazing.
This is the best time of year to be in your area for sure.
Yes.
Okay.
It's starting to get warmer and warmer. So
I know that feeling. I lived in Tucson for a couple of years. You're like, oh, May is coming soon. Okay, so quick smile. There you go. That's wonderful. Okay, perfect. So we got, and that's fine. It has a little bit of wording around it. There's never a problem with that. So I'm going to go ahead and upload the image. And we're working on something for you today, something that you're working on personally.
yes. I would love to work on, I have some, it's undiagnosed, but I would assume it would probably be issues with my feet. So what is the name of that? Now it's like totally lost.
Oh, that's okay. I know how you feel. It's called plantar fasciitis.
That's it. And then just joint pain in my thumbs, like at the base of my thumbs.
So interesting that you've got sort of joint pain in different areas.
Yes,
right?
I feel very inflamed in my tendons and my joints.
Okay, good to know. Okay, fantastic. All right, let me just go ahead and get this in here. We're almost ready to roll. Okay,
it's actually 0. Okay, yeah.
I know I always do it backwards so that I got it right. Yeah. People, when I've done demonstrations, people are like, no, that's not the right month. And I'm like, wait, give me a chance. Okay, so you're good. And so we're just going to go to the next screen and right here. So this is where the fun really, really starts. And I absolutely love this. So this would be that Diane is super, super busy during her day. And so she is going to remote to me the Quanta Capsule voice and picture. And I love the system. I think it was ingenious on the part of the developer. And I would also receive an email that tells me that Diane has sent me her profile. So I would have seen the email and now here I am, I'm ready to do the session on her, even though she's off doing something else. So I basically go to import the Quanta profile and it imports it. And then I have to enter her email. So in this case, it's not her email. It's actually the email of my Quanta Capsule. Since we're doing this demonstration, you would have felt silly, right? Because you don't have a Quanta Capsule right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then I have to enter the email of the person. So I need to know that. I need to have that written down somewhere, recorded, of the person who owns the capsule. And here we go. I got a little bit of my voice in there, but this is demonstration purposes only. Okay, so then we have it all uploaded and then we go to next, just like we do when we're doing a regular session. Analyzes the voice, fantastic. You know, this really relates to where we are today, where people are so busy. How many people do you know who maybe cancel an appointment? Oh, I can't do it today. But imagine if they could have just gotten up in the morning and then recorded the voice and picture, send it to you, and then they didn't have to cancel the appointment. You could still take care of them and send them the frequencies and the results and everything like that. So now we go to the next screen. And once again, oh yeah, there it goes. So it just, I was worried. It just drops it right in when you go to the next screen. It downloads it and then you begin the analysis.
So once you give somebody a capsule, do you no longer, like it's only theirs? You can't take it, you can't bring it back to you and give it to somebody else?
Yeah, we don't want to really do that. It would be like if you downloaded some app and you purchased it, you wouldn't normally think like, oh, I'm going to return that app and then give it to somebody else. So once they have the app, it's really theirs. They shouldn't be sending it back. We want to establish that they own it for future, for future use. In the rare case where somebody's just like so unhappy and you need to make the client happy, then you can, you can change the ownership, but we want them to be on rare occasions, especially because the developer might revoke those privileges for the practitioner to basically delete somebody's file and then have that credit restored. So on rare occasions, do you have an affirmation? Would you like to, or do you have a word? Is there a word that comes to mind like love, joy, peace, harmony that we could put into here for the energetic affirmation entrainment?
Yes, definitely love.
It sort of covers everything, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. We need more of that in this world.
We sure do. And when we type that in, it evaluates each frequency of the letter and then the frequency of the whole word together. And then it's going to play that in the background whenever we run frequencies for you today. Okay, so Diane, I'm going to work on you and then I'm going to have you come back in just a few moments and we'll talk about the results and what we found and things like that. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Like, so nice to have you here. All right, fantastic. So let's go ahead and let's check her aura really quickly. See what we find. And then we want to talk about the different ways that we send the frequencies. So, Diane, while we're talking, you could go to the App Store. Beautiful aura, by the way. Wow, look at that. Look at the opening. So really open in the crown, very high vibrational colors. We've really got an open 7th chakra, open 6th chakra. So lots of intuition, very open in the higher chakras, looks wonderful. Just like a little bit of dustiness on the bottom. So stagnation, it could be the pain, the inflammation. The inflammation may be showing up sort of down here is where we may be seeing it. So let's see if we can talk about finding the Quanta capsule. So I am on an Apple device. So I'm going to take a break here and I'm going to go to the App Store, which is right here. And let's go to the App Store together. So now you're on the spot and you have to find the Quanta capsule for your client. Okay, you're sweating bullets and you have to be able to do it. So what we do is we basically go to the search bar here and then we type in Insight Quanta capsule. And it's really cool that actually you can see it in the search bar. It actually comes up in the search. So that's really, really nice. So that hopefully it'll come up. So there it is. And so there it is right there. So if you're with a client, right, if you're watching right now, you can download it from the App Store as we're talking and then start an account for yourself. And then you'll have a 14-day trial, or your client could do that. So anyone can get the 14-day trial. And then after 14 days, they'll have to make sure they've purchased it or you have activated it for them. So that's how it works. Now, if we were doing the Google Play Store, we could do the same thing. Just go to the Google Play Store, put an Insight Quanta capsule, and it would be the same thing. All right. So Diane, if you want to go to the App Store and download it right now, and remember what email you use to create your account, then by the time we're done with your session, I can send you frequencies. Now, this is a great thing to do with a group. So if you wanted to do a group with your genius and say you wanted to do a positive affirmation group or a sleep improvement group or a weight release group, you could just get a whole bunch of people to volunteer, come for free, okay, to the first session. First session's free. And then at the session, you tell them all to download the trial version of the capsule and you show them how cool it is to test everyone together. And then you get everyone's email. And after the session is over, you could send everybody on that list the frequencies from the group. Wow, this is so fresh and so new. I mean, who's doing this? No one's doing this. So you could be really, really cool, get people really, really excited, and then they get hooked on getting the frequencies. Maybe you want to do 2 free weeks of them getting the frequencies in the group. And then eventually they'll be so hooked that they'll want to join the group, register for the paid group, get a Quanta capsule. So that's, how you get things rolling. So we have her right here, and let's do a few things, a few basic panels. So we would do things like today's stress. Let's see what's going on there. We've got bacteria and hormonal. We've got some fungus, so maybe some digestive issues. Let's go ahead and look at spinal energy. So let's go high to low. So there's not a lot going on here, but there's a lot of depletion in the nervous system. Then for fun, let's just go to our libraries. We'll pick up some libraries that are related to inflammation in just a moment. Sue says, which is the trial option? It's the Insight Quanta capsule. When you download it, you'll automatically be on the trial. So you'll automatically be on the trial. A client just bought a Freedom phone and can't download the app from her phone. Now, I don't know what operating systems are on a Freedom phone, but I'm pretty sure it has its own operating system. And I'm not sure that many apps are compatible with the Freedom phone. How do you explain to clients when the original aura is beautiful, and then when you start working on them, it looks horrible? Well, horrible is a very subjective term, Gail. So what's beautiful to one person may be horrible, but there's a very specific reason for that. We've actually talked about that in the weekly class several times, that people can even be in training frequencies for themselves, or they might be resting, or they might be in sort of a calm state, or they might be really enjoying working with you, seeing you. But when you start running and training the frequencies, you start to shake everything up. You start to sort of move things. And sometimes as things get moving, the aura will shift and change. Maybe you're doing sort of a detox. Digestive energies are now moving, or something that's been very, very, stagnant for a long time is starting to move. So in mid-session, you may have gray or black or brown or new things. That is why we encourage you, as you get ready to end your session, is to put all 9 solfeggio frequencies into the quick zap tray. And then just like at the end of a yoga session where you do Shavasana, the corpse pose, what the Shavasana does is it helps you to assimilate everything that you've been working on during your yoga practice. And so if we put all the solfeggios up in the top, it can actually help us to how you can do that. Wouldn't be really suitable for a Quanta capsule, but it would be suitable in a different way for ending a session. All right, so very, very good. So can a person run the Quanta capsule all through the night when they are sleeping like they can with the Genius? Yes, you can. They can do that. We'll go back and we'll show it, but basically they turn the frequency down, they turn the timer down to 0, and they can continue to run it and run it. So let's go ahead and let's look for the inflammation frequencies. So let's look at inflammation assessment. And it says there's an interference field, environmental allergies, and bacteria. And there's virus chemical exposure. It's interesting that fungus keeps coming up again and again, isn't it? Let's look at some more. So it says there's some type of a subclinical infection that's causing the inflammation. Then it says that this might come from the diet, and that, yes, there might be some detoxification that's needed because we see the need for glutathione. Let's look at a few more of these. Okay, it's telling us that there might be some histamines, some cytokines that need harmonizing. And let's see if we can see if there's anything else that might be helpful here. Hypothalamus, lactic acid, nociceptors, basal ganglia, occipital lobe. So some nervous system factors that need balancing. Let's go here and let's look at the different remedies that came up for her. So what are some inflammation remedies? Turmeric comes up. I think we have one more, which is herbs. We have remedies, spices. That was the spices. What are the other remedies? Resveratrol, pomegranate, camu. So yeah, there does seem to be something there that is causing sort of a chronic inflammation. I think you're absolutely correct. So let's just work on the harmonizing factors, the things that can harmonize inflammation. We don't need to actually know, even though it's great to know the exact cause of the inflammation, but now we have all the frequencies that we need that are personalized for her to harmonize it. So to make this session complete, and we're doing sort of a quick session, let's make sure that we add some of the flower essences. The emotional pieces are always really smart. So mimulus, and if we had time, we might want to look at kidneys, because maybe her inflammation is because her kidneys or her liver, her organs of elimination, are somehow blocked in some way. So we've got elm and cherry plum. Cherry plum is like, oh, I'm going to have a tantrum. I've got all this pent up energy. And elm is about feeling a lot of responsibility, feeling weighed down by duty, things, obligations. And so we've got those in there. Let's include just a couple more. And then we're going to go right into progressive insights. So let's see in progressive insights, what is the most important, greatest priority for today? Clear the glycation end products. So there's something in the diet that is causing a disruption of blood sugar and is leading to advanced glycation end products. And that seems to be maybe a contributing part of why we have inflammation. So it also says calm, which is just, I think, an energy, CBD oil, which is interesting and can be used for decreasing inflammation. Mangosteen, working on the second cervical vertebra. There was some type of chemical exposure, L2 lumbar, second lumbar environmental allergies. Very interesting. And arnica is just a great homeopathic remedy for any kind of aches and pains. So maybe some arnica cream could be really, really helpful. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to tap all, and then we could easily run the frequencies, but I want to tell you something very, very interesting. If you are a practitioner and you do this for maybe a whole group of clients, maybe you have 20 clients in your rotation, you can meet with that client at the beginning of the month, okay? And what we recommend that you do is you have a subscription going with them where they pay you $97, $107, $197, some set amount per month. And you meet with them in the beginning of the month, you find out what their goals are, you do a session for them live. But then the other 3 weeks of the month, they will just send you the voice and picture, just like Diane did for us. And then at another time of day, you'll bring up their voice and picture, and then you will send them the frequencies to their capsule. So it will be sort of in this remote fashion. And when you are doing this, you do not need, so not in the live meeting, you can play them the frequencies. You can play them the frequencies while you're live. But the other three, the second, the third, and the fourth of the month, you do not sit here and play the frequencies for them. Isn't that interesting? You can save time because time is money. If you want to send them frequencies remotely, you could play the frequencies. But a way to make your practice more efficient, and efficiency is really important when you're a single practitioner trying to make this work for you, you just send them the frequencies because they are going to take the time to run the frequencies. And then you're going to teach and train them how to use the Quanta capsule. So you do not have to run any frequencies for them. So I wonder, Diane, in the time that we were talking, did you download your capsule? Let me know. We're going to bring you up here in just a moment, but I want to show how it's done. So if you have an email for your capsule, let me know. So we're going to tap the share button right here. And this is going to share everything that has been in the main hold tray that we transferred to the progressive insights. You could also only share the high items. So if you wanted to just check the high items, you could do that. So Diane is awesome. She actually got herself a trial on the Quanta capsule. Let's bring her back up here and talk with her while we're doing this and get her Quanta capsule items. Okay. So when you're ready, you can jump back on there, Diane. Okay. What did you think of what came up for you?
It's pretty amazing. I really resonated with a lot of it. Surprised too, but it all makes a lot of sense to me.
Very cool. I'm so glad you joined us today.
Oh, me too. Thank you.
But now this is really exciting because we found all those great frequencies for inflammation. I would be able to share it for you.
I am so excited. Yes, it's It's interesting because the other day I manage Airbnbs, and I was at one of the houses and they were spraying for scorpions.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the wind kicked it up and I inhaled it.
Oh my God. And it said chemical exposure was one of the
know.
high things that came up for you.
I know. I was just like, oh no.
Amazing. I never cease to be amazed. I always love using Genius because it's always just so fascinating to have those moments where those things come up. So that's wonderful. All right. So now we're going to send it to you. And I'm also going to send it to myself so we can see it here. So if you want to, while you're sitting there, you can see if you've received a code in your email, and just refresh your email and see if you see that code in your email now. And we'll run some frequencies for you live as well. Just to turn this down a little bit and just answer some questions here. And then we're going to go back to my capsule and see if we can find it. I'm actually going to look on my phone to see if I've received the email about the export that I sent to myself. So on my phone, I actually see the code for the one I sent to myself, and I see the code that was sent to Diane. Diane, do you see your code on your email?
I got it. Yes.
All right. I love it. Okay, fantastic. So one more time here. Alicia says, how did you send it or export it? So I know that sometimes that's hard to see on so let's get a spotlight up here. So the spotlight is going to go to see where it says share. And I've actually asked the developer, please put Quanta Capsule export there. Nobody understands what share is. That's like when you're sharing a post. So hopefully we'll have that change soon. But so I just want to get you some remote frequencies and we're almost done. Let's go ahead and get that. Oh, that's interesting. It's running it in a loop for some reason. Oh, I did. That's so to answer the question, if you notice, I turned this down accidentally to 0 minutes and it went right into the loop. I meant to put it on 1. So the person who was asking about that, Dana, it works similarly on the person's Quanta Capsule. So what I did was I tapped share, and when I tapped share, the screen came up and I basically put the email in here and I tap OK, and then that will cause the export to happen. So then it goes to my email and my email sends me a code. We're going to enter that code right now. Okay, so hopefully you saw that. Phaedra asked as well. I'm probably saying your name wrong. And welcome, so glad you're with us. And then Alicia also asked, and so we answered about sharing, and you can also watch the replay of this. So now let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the Quanta Capsule, and we're going to see if we can do the import there. So here's her capsule, right? We go back, here's the client. They're always going to action it through the navigation bar. So Diane, are you in your capsule right now as well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So are you able to do this as well?
Yes, I actually am. As far as import Quanta Cap code, I've got the code in there. I'm just waiting to make sure that that's where I'm supposed to be.
That's exactly right. So you just go to import the Quanta code and it will import your code. Let's do me a favor, just wait for 1 second.
Oh.
Can you hang on?
Yes.
I want to do something that's really important. I'm so glad we're all doing this together. I'm going to actually go back to the Genius and I want to show you something really important. Now I'm going to go to my Quanta dashboard. Okay, I think it says Quanta memberships. I like to call it the Quanta dashboard because it kind of makes sense, or your control panel. And I'm going to go right here and I'm going to, oh, why isn't it showing me her? Oh, I didn't do this correctly. Okay, so let me just do a little bit of jerry rigging here and see if I can do this. So to review, I didn't have Diane entered as one of my clients. So it's not going to show her playlist. So I'm going to do a redo. Anybody who didn't understand how to export, I'm going to do it again. So let me explain why this is important. What I need to do is I need to go to my members, and then I'm going to go to add a member. And this is really great if you didn't actually do the activation of the client yourself, or even if they're on a trial, as Diane is. So I'm going to go to add this member. Now I'm not going to activate her capsule, right? Because she's not purchasing it today, but I'm going to add her on the trial. So this is what I do. I use the little, I don't know if it'll actually work. I use a little magnifying glass there. And then I'm going to go ahead and enter her email. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Oh, spell it correctly. I still didn't do it. All right, we'll get it. And it's one. Thank goodness you have a short email, Diane. You were the right person for this. Okay, so it's awesome. So look, it brings up her name, it brings up her email, and now I'm going to do add a member. So this is going to be fun. I'm going to just redo the whole thing. So now she's added. The reason I want to do this is because now I'm going to be able to I'm going to be able to name her playlist. And this is really cool. If you have somebody on a trial, you can see how many days they have left. You can activate it if they want to purchase it from you. So don't hit activate now unless they've paid for it, just so you know. And then now I'm going to go back to the progressive insights right here. So this is how you share. This is, let's just do all of them. So they're all checked, right? You go to share right here. And now you can actually, I can actually choose her from here, I think. Can I choose her from here, which is really cool. So now she's already like sort of, you know, served up to us a lot easier. So I don't have to enter it again. I go right here and let's actually do it for mine as well. And now does it let you select two at one time? Perfect. That's great. So if you have them entered, you know, you'd be so easy to send a group export with a lot of frequencies. So now I'm going to hit, so now I'm going to tap OK. Now this is where the fun starts. So that's going to go. Now, before I forget or do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to the Quanta membership, back to Quanta membership, and I'm going to look for that playlist. So let's go to my members and let's look for that playlist. And let's see if that playlist is now, oh my goodness, I hope it's here. Playlist, yes. So the first one, actually it listed both of them. That's really interesting. So this is so great. Oh, Diane, I'm glad you volunteered here because what happened is number one, she's all, did you enter the code or no?
I did.
Yeah,
right
okay,
when you said
okay.
don't.
That's okay. No, don't worry about it. It's actually perfect because the one that she entered is not pending. She already redeemed it and she has, it says 9 days. We tell the client there's actually 7 days and we always just like a 2 days of wiggle room in case they couldn't find the code. So we tell them expires in 7 days. They actually have 9. There's a little bit of wiggle room there. But what I wanted to do is right here, before they redeem it, the redeem pending, we can go right in, edit it right here. And now we can name it.
Oh, awesome.
So they know what it's for, right? We don't say like curing, we say harmonizing or balancing, right? So just, anyway, so inflammation harmonizing. So we hit OK. Now go ahead and find that other code and see if when you import it, if it shows the name of the playlist, okay?
Doing that right now.
Okay, so a couple of questions. Did it
did.
show it?
Yep. Inflammation harmonizing.
Okay, and we'll do it on ours as well so people can see that. So fantastic.
That's awesome.
All right. Diane, you're off to the races. You're doing great.
I'm so excited.
All right. Thank you for joining us today. I really, it was great to have you and stay on and keep learning. And let me know if you have any questions. Absolutely. And run those frequencies for yourself. Now you can run them for the next week and see how you do. Yes. That's great. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ariel. Awesome. So great. It's so nice I love this Zoom format where we can talk to people, visit with you, test you with the genius. So fun. So Andy says, select all and share to that person's email. This is where I can see only 9 members at a time. I get an error message if I try to add again. So keep bringing that to my attention. I'm going to keep communicating it to the developer. He is in a major upgrade where we're going to see any of the tiny glitches across the servers are in the process of being completely corrected. So we really hope to get this right. It's not a perfect system, but it's like when it works, it really works amazingly. Okay, so can a client receive codes from more than one practitioner? Yes, they can, but they will have to know the practitioner's email. So when they go to record their voice and picture, they have to put that person's email in there, or it's not going to go to the right practitioner. And where are the downloads? So Gigi, if you can get the downloads, somebody maybe can link them one more time, just so you can see them. And of course, we're going to put it in the YouTube description. Of course, we're going to post it to the website, and we'll just update you then. So now let's go back to the Quanta Capsule itself. And let's go ahead. I'm going to see if I can get this code on my phone of the one that we sent the second time, which is, we got Diane's here, the one that I sent to myself. And let's see if I might even be able to take my phone and copy the code here and actually Bluetooth paste it onto my, there we go. I love it. So it just did it through a nice little Bluetooth exchange there. I copied and was able to paste it right into the iPad. So let's go ahead and see okay and see what happens. And so this one didn't seem to show it as inflammation, which is interesting. And that's the second one we did for sure. Let me see if I made a mistake. No, it's the most recent one we just did 4 minutes ago. I don't know why it isn't showing the name of it, but Diane said hers did. So that's really interesting. You could also name it yourself. And I think this is something that's being worked on so that it will come through as the actual inflammation harmonizing. That being said, don't get too hung up, on that one thing. So once the person receives the code and they've got it here, right? Then we're going to load it. So if we tap load, then all the frequencies now will appear. So you can see that all the frequencies that we selected for Diane, they're all related to inflammation. They're all personalized for her. We've got some of the flower essences. And what we want to instruct our client to do, and this is my preference because I think with the client, we're asking them to do a lot. So I try to keep it as simple as possible. And I just tell them, go ahead and tap add all items to the tray. Now we have in that PDF that we handed out, the one that people have relinked a couple of times, there is a guide, Quanta Capsule Client Guide. And when you click on that, there is a guide just for the client that goes through every step that I'm talking about. And you can give that to them and they can use it. So this added the 56 items that we discovered for Diane to the tray. And then I tell them, set the timer for 15 minutes. It's already set. And then I say, when you get up in the morning and you're brushing your teeth and getting ready, play your frequencies. You can listen to them. You can watch this beautiful visual algorithm and meditate and just focus on it. You can listen through headphones. Somebody asked the other day, you can actually take your Quanta Capsule frequencies and you could actually connect a remedy plate. So if somebody is a really committed client, they can get one of the remedy plates that we have and they could imprint their water. They can do everything that you do with your regular Genius. You could send the frequencies into gemstones, whatever you want to do into your food. So you could create a food harmonizing playlist for them. They can also take headphones and just put the headphones, like big headphones around the water bottle or close to the food, and it'll imprint the frequencies that way as well. So then you tell them 15 minutes in the morning, brushing your teeth, getting ready. And then when you're winding down for the night, right? You're getting ready and you're putting your PJs on or whatever, then you play the frequencies again. So they have 2 touch points during the day, but really they can run them as often as they want to. Okay, so they can watch the visual algorithm, they can listen to the frequencies, but here's where I really want to clarify. This is not a remote broadcaster like the Genius is. So they have to be close to the device where the device is actually emanating the frequencies, or they could put on a wireless headphones and walk around their house. As long as they can hear the tones, then it's working for them. If your client doesn't have headphones, can they hold the glass of water and get the same results? Okay, but Lorraine, seriously, who doesn't have headphones? Like, no, people don't even have like a wired pair of headphones, but yeah. Absolutely. If your client doesn't have headphones, can they hold the glass of water and get the same results? I mean, I think you can just, play the frequencies, and if the frequencies are playing, then yeah, you can hold the water and everything around the water is being affected, right? Because everything's affected by frequencies. But it is a good question. I appreciate you asking and being here for our class. Thank you. So Lorraine says, I've had a few don't have headphones. So thank you. You just never know. Can someone repost the Quanta Capsule client guide? Well, I'm sure we could do it right now as well. So let's see if we can copy it. I don't know if it'll work with the spotlight here. A little finicky. There we go. So let's post it one more time. Margaret, thank you for attending today and being here. Oops. I wanted to see the chat. Hang on. Okay. All right. So thanks. Thanks for posting the link, Diane. So, all right. So you weren't maybe hearing the Quanta Capsule. I did have it on low volume. Sound is not coming out of my iPhone. I see it playing and I have the volume up, but no sound. For that, I might recommend just turning your device off and then turning it on, making sure that other apps are off, and make sure that you've allowed the microphone in your app. Just look at your permissions. There's all types of weird things going on with permissions these days. So that could be what's going on. Okay, so I think the second time you sent it, so yeah, Rob, maybe I picked up the wrong one and it didn't say inflammation harmonizing. Thank you so much. I see a circle, but no waves. I don't know what that is, but just email me if you need more help. I'd be more than happy. Hey, Karen, I'm so glad you got to join us here. Is there a preferred type of imprint plate that you like? The differences between the three types. So there's only really two types. There's the Chartres Labyrinth imprinter. I don't want to talk too much about the imprinter for a Quanta Capsule. I could absolutely talk about it another time. And we have our sort of Star of David type of the one with the copper tracings. They all basically do the same thing. They get the same thing accomplished. So potato, potato. I don't think there's a huge difference in the actual plate. They all sort of deliver the same outcome in my experience, but that was a good question. Okay, couple more things that I want to talk about is you can use this to remove all the items from the tray. So you could clear the tray. Now, the good thing is that that won't clear out all the frequencies. So what the good thing is I don't think clients can delete this frequency unless they trash the playlist. So I think they used to be able to do that. This is pretty fail safe. Now, there are a couple of sort of static playlists in here. So there's the playlist that you send to them, and then they could also do a chakra balancing with this. So if they just wanted to, there's something that you could instruct them to do. In the morning, do a chakra balancing for 5 minutes by adding all the items to the tray. And then after that, after you've balanced all your chakras, then load your playlist and play your frequencies. It's completely up to you. I don't know why it seems really loud with the class today, but so, and I think that the developer actually added some new visual algorithms. The geometry looks like it's changed and it's really pleasant to watch. So you can tell them to watch it. And when you watch it, you're actually getting some of the benefits of the actual healing in watching what is being shown visually. So they could do 5 minutes of a total chakra tune-up. Another thing that they could do. Now, if they do this, they're going to have to, they can't load both all of the chakras and their frequencies. They're going to have to go back to their playlist. So there's a couple of steps here. They have to go back to the navigation bar. They have to go back to their playlist. It could load faster, hopefully someday. And then if they wanted to, they could also do a little 5 minutes of the solfeggios. So they could do a 5-minute tune-up, set it for 5 minutes of the actual, I set it for 1 minute, but they have to add the items to the tray first. And then they could do all the solfeggios together. This is actually really nice. I'm noticing now, I didn't notice before, that the developer actually put in these specific sacred geometrical frequencies for the solfeggios and for the chakras. That's actually pretty cool. And so I would try to get them maybe to integrate this, like do a minute of this and then do your, the frequencies that I sent to you, or do a chakra balancing at night. It's a nice little add-on that you can instruct them to do, and it will really enhance what they're doing, because these are very, very positive frequencies, and they're positive frequencies when they're run all at the same time. So that's really, really cool. I love that. Okay, but they can't actually combine them together. So you have to let them know that. There was a question from Dana about the loop. So if you turn this down, they could play all 9 solfeggios overnight by plugging it into power and just running it on the infinite loop. Another thing that you can do is you can add a fractal image. Let's see how these fractals are doing today. So a fractal image is sacred geometry that they can watch if they want to, and it'll also play some hard-coded positive affirmations. So it'll sort of be an overlay that will enhance the experience of them playing the frequencies. I'm just laughing a little bit because we've had some trouble visualizing some of the fractals. Let's see. We haven't quite gotten there yet. I'm hoping the developer's working on this. Of course, this is problematic because you can't read these, but basically this one says clarity. This one says every day I'm feeling better. This one says something about when life overwhelms. This one says I'm strong and fearless. So let's take that one. And so the affirmation, I'm strong and fearless, when we tap on this and then we go begin, if we hit start, we'll actually play this visual algorithm. And it's quite beautiful, really, to watch. And so the frequencies that are coming through are actually sort of heightened, expanded, potentiated through this fractal imaging. So if people enjoy watching this, then great. It's going to help them to progress faster. If they don't, I think you can just hit stop here. Well, that'll stop all the frequencies. All they need to do is just go back to, oh, I think that turned it off. If they needed to turn it off, they would just go back here and they would just uncheck it. So I think that did it automatically. Let's do it. Let's do this one, the clarity one. Let's see if that's any different. And so when we play it, that fractal image will be there. So it's just the same, but it's going to be there's some different mantras and affirmations. So Ryan's always working on one thing or another. And so he put some different affirmations into the one that says clarity. Oh, there's actually some different visualizations as well. I think this could have been slowed down a little bit because I think that's hard for some people to watch all of these changes, although they're beautiful to watch. So if you have any client who's watching this, they don't like it, they complain about it, you don't like it, all you need to do now is there's just a stop button right here. So you just hit that stop button and it'll actually, I think it'll take the affirmation away. Let's see if that's true. It's still playing. No, it's still there. So it just stopped it for the moment. Let's go back. And I think let's try playing it again. Is it still playing? So we do need to go back to, let's go back to the navigation bar and we go back to add fractals and now we uncheck it. So you just sort of undo that so you don't see it anymore. Then you go back and you can continue to play your tones. Oh, I don't like that. Let's see if we just kill the app for a second, if that will turn it off. So yeah, we're able to do it. Oh my goodness. And so our Quanta capsule is right here. And let's try it one more time. My fractal is actually slower. Yeah, I don't know why this would have been like an update, I would think. So select some first, add the items to the tray, and hopefully now we're back to, so let's just see if we can go back. And that's something that we'll just have to let the developer know. So maybe I checked it instead of unchecking it. So that's check, that's uncheck. Oh, just try clear, try clearing them. And let's try it now. There we go. Okay, awesome. So yes, it's actually the clear button. Let's go back and show it one more time. We go to the fractal and we just go to clear if you wanted to switch those off. Okay, when I add the fractals, then the sound works. Oh, there you go, you fixed it. While listening to my Quanta capsule, will my husband benefit from the frequencies? That's the thing I wanted to make sure that you understand. If somebody runs you on the Genius and they hit that play button and they're sending you remote frequencies, they're sending it just to you. If you play the Quanta capsule, anyone who listens to these frequencies, looks at the visual affirmation, I love it, that visual affirmation, the visual algorithm keeps changing. That's totally fascinating. And anybody who watches it, anybody who's close to the device, anybody who listens to it will benefit from it. So anyone really could play all 9 solfeggios. Anyone could play the chakras. Anybody could play Diane got the inflammation frequency. So if your husband has inflammation, he'll probably also benefit for it. So, and there's no downside to the frequencies. The frequencies are non-toxic, they're harmless. So anybody could be close to them. Okay, so let's see, there's some Q&A here. How much do you suggest we charge clients for a Quanta capsule? That's a very good question, Kathleen. Thank you for asking that. It is completely up to you how much you want to charge. The retail price that they're going to find in the App Store and listed on the website is $65. So today we had a sale where you could get it for as little as $39.70. It's still on the website. If you want to get a 10-pack, you can go to geniusbiofeedback.com. Purchase it only through the website. That's where it's available. It'll be available until Friday. And so you can mark it up so you can make the profit between $65 and $39.70. You can charge $65. We've also encouraged people to, if someone pays you for 10 sessions in advance, so say you charge $75 a session, and today they write you a check or slide their card for $750, then would you be willing to gift them that investment of the $39.70? You probably will. You probably would. And everybody loves free stuff. So you say, well, when you get 10 sessions from me and you prepay, I'm going to give you the $65 app for free, and you're always going to be able to have it. In fact, you'll always be able to balance your chakras now. And I know some people might think, oh gosh, now they're going to be able to just run the solfeggios. They'll never come back for frequencies, but that isn't true at all. People really want to work on specific goals, and so they will come back to you. The one thing that's amazing about the Genius is the curiosity factor, is people want to know what their frequencies are. One of the most high value things to put into your Quanta capsule for your client is an affirmation. Now, we didn't get to it today, but go to Cellular Freedom Technique or create your own affirmations. We have a new one called 100 Affirmations. We have affirmations in Breakthrough to Success. And people love to see which affirmation came up for me this week, or which one came up for me today. And they love to be able to see that in their Quanta capsule. Your clients will be fascinated. They will love to go to their playlist and load their frequencies and see which ones you found for them this week. They absolutely love it. Will the bonus playlist expire after 7 days? So actually I was answering it as you were asking it, or you may have asked it a while ago. So yes, they'll be able to have the bonus ones permanently. So if they're, they want to run those in between their the regular frequencies, like in the morning or at night, they can run them. So yeah, chakras and solfeggios will always be available. Okay, so let's sort of summarize what we did today, because we're getting a little bit past the hour, and then we'll have more of these workshops coming up on a regular basis, so you can always check in and see how you're doing. So today we gave a series of guides so that you could, let's see if we can click on these. So we've got a guide. This is going to be the client's guide. It's loading really slow. You can download all of these guides. So the client, you can basically send this to the client. And the first time that the person gets the capsule, you want to take the time to train that person on how the capsule works. It'll go a really, really long way if you train them on their Quanta capsule and explain to them how they do it, how they log in, how they get their, basically what all this is. And you can just print this out. You could copy and paste it. You could put your website on it. We don't care. You can plagiarize the whole thing. We want you to be able to use it and basically benefit from using it. All right. Now, there's some other things. Let's see what this one is. Okay, this is sort of a description just so you know about what the Quanta capsule is. And actually that has all of the links. And then there's another one here, which is you can keep track of all of the different exports that you've sent to them. And of course, they will expire after those days automatically. And then there's some tutorial videos in here as well. So you can download and have that. And then we've sort of gone through everything on this capsule. I believe that we've gone through this. There's some videos on here. They can change their password. They can log out, but encourage them not to ever log out. And I've got some instructions here. They're importing their code. Let's go back to the Genius now and sort of sum up by looking at the Genius itself and talking about the Quanta dashboard. The Genius now has an integrated system, which is called our Quanta membership or Quanta dashboard. This is a place where you can see all of your clients. You can see if they've redeemed a certain playlist. You can name a playlist. You can see all of your clients, and you can actually purchase new Quanta capsules. So you can either purchase them from the website, like we're having a special that's only through the website, or most days you can actually purchase it right there on the spot inside your Genius. So let's go ahead and look at that. If we look at the Quanta membership right here, you can see you can actually purchase them. You'll have all of your purchase credits will be here. All of your members will be here. And once again, if we click on members, you'll be able to see all the people that you've ever activated. And you can add ones if they own a capsule. So you'll see them here, and then you'll see any playlists that you've issued to them. So if we go down here, we can see the 2 playlists that we sent today to Diane. Tells us how many days are remaining. Again, we could edit it and we could name it. And it's super, you can actually email your client from here if you want to. So it's really, really a very nice integration. I mean, there's no system out there that is doing this. Like, it's really unique. It'll really help you to grow your practice. You could charge someone on a monthly basis. So if you charge them $97, which is a very, very low number, but let's just take 97. For $97 a month, you meet with them once a month, one-on-one. You talk with them about their goals for the month of April. What is that going to be? What does that look like? Or whatever it is at the beginning of the month. And then you're going to pick the libraries you're going to run for them for the next, 4 weeks pretty much. And then you have to explain to them, hey, each week I need you to send me your voice and picture, explain to them how to do it. You may want to set up an automated email so you can remind them to do that the day before they're supposed to send it to you. And then you do their session, and then you don't even have to run their frequencies during the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of the month. You just send it to them. You check in maybe by phone or email. How are you doing? Are you playing the frequencies? Do you understand it? And then if you can get 1 subscriber for $97, the average that our practitioners are charging is between $200 and $300 a month. So they're really at a much higher level than the 97, but let's just take 97, round it to 100. If you could get 1 person, right, you probably get 2. If you get 2, you get 3. If you get 3, you could get maybe 5. And you could find yourself with $500 a month of additional income just from sending these exported frequencies. This is really the new way. There's no waste, right? There's nothing that's going to end up in a landfill. You're sending light, you're sending energy, and you're sending it in a personalized way to that person. And if you did start it at $97, where can you get something for $25? It's less than $25 a session. And somebody just is thinking about you, you're sending your client positive intentions, you're thinking about them, you're caring about them. I mean, it has a whole heck of a lot of value. So let's get some of your final questions before we wrap up today. And can you post the guide again? I got bumped out. So definitely we'll make sure if you didn't see it, we're going to put it in the YouTube description. We're going to distribute it. We're going to send in a recording. We're going to put it on the blog. If you go to geniusbiofeedback.com, we are now posting all the videos and the guides in the blog. So it's easy for you to find it. Okay, so I think that that's really it for today. Thank you again to Diane for joining us. Thank you to everyone for joining us for a Quanta Capsule workshop. I will be back on Monday at 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 o'clock Eastern for the regular weekly training. If you have any other questions, you can always email me, Ariel at geniusbiofeedback.com. I hope you have a great rest of your week, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye for now.